What's going on, Facebook family? This is Ian Edwards. I am hosting the Derrick live show tonight, and we're gonna have a good show tonight with Derrick. I know many of y'all have seen his shows. We're on episode 25 tonight, and some of y'all may be wondering, what is this whole Derrick live thing about? Like, who is this guy that just comes on the scene, nice looking brother, bald head, speaking so eloquently, putting things together, bringing up issues? Y'all wondering, who is this dude? What is he about? We're going to talk to Derrick tonight, and we're going to find a little bit about Derrick, maybe fill you in some things that you know, things that you don't know, and we're just going to have a good time on the show. So ladies and gentlemen, introducing tonight, Derrick Live. Yo.
What's up, brother?
What's going on, man? What's going on, man?
Hey, what's up, Facebook? How y'all doing out there? Yeah.
Have to lock that for me, brother.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah, we got we got Derrick Live in the house. Good to see you, my brother.
Hey, good to see you too, man. Good to see everybody else out there too.
Yeah.
Y'all had a wonderful day today.
Mm-hmm. So Derrick, it's you. We got you in the studio. And man, I think some people want to know what you're about, but before we get into your show and some of the content that you've been putting on, I think your shows have had a couple different times trying to get a feel of where your best audience is. I think first of all, tell the people who is Derrick. Like, who are you? Like, you just came out of nowhere. This day and age, you can't just be coming out of nowhere, popping up talking like you're an expert on something. So who is Derrick? Tell me a little about yourself, maybe a little bit about your past, family dynamics, if you're married, you have kids, things like that. Just a little bit about yourself.
Absolutely. First of all, Ian Edwards, I want to thank you for hosting this. I really appreciate it. You've seen Ian Edwards before. He was the guest when we were talking about branding. He's a pastor, life coach, a lot of stuff embodied in one. So to talk about me, who I am as well, I'm a lot. Jamal Winton White, how you doing?
What's up, Jamal?
I'm a lot, man. I'm a husband. I'm a father. I'm a businessman. I'm a member of the Armed Forces and the Air Force. Mm-hmm. I'm a minister in the church. I'm a political enthusiast. I'm a motivator. I'm a dreamer.
An ex-rapper.
I'm still a rapper. One time, if you're a rapper, you're always a rapper.
I haven't heard his bars recently, but created more than chocolate bars.
Yeah, man. So I'm a lot, man. But as far as Derrick Live is concerned, the broadcast that I started last November, if you want to remember anything, you can remember we exist for two reasons: to educate and to motivate. So when we talk about education, a lot of times it's regarding politics, because I love politics. I love just talking about things that are going on in our country, and not only in our country, how they affect the world as well. Mm-hmm. And then motivation. I mean, on Sundays I typically go live to show the praise and worship aspect that people, their spirits are low, man, oftentimes, and so when they can hear some good music, some uplifting messages, mm-hmm. That's great. So if you want to know what I'm about, I got a lot of titles, but at the end of the day, I'm about educating and motivating.
That's good. Can you unlock that for me, brother?
Yes, sir. Yes, I can.
I'm trying to get to these questions, but the phone keep locking up. But we all good. But that's what Derrick is about. So Derrick, just again a little bit more about yourself. What are your hobbies? What do you like to do when you're not talking politics?
I'm a real simple man, and my hobbies consist of listening to music, mm-hmm. watching TV, movies, and just spending time with my family. Shout out to my family and my lovely wife, Carmen Cash, and my lovely boys, DJ and Devin.
My nephews.
Yeah. So I'm a simple man,
Okay.
Pretty much.
Okay. So does your upbringing play into this whole political thing with you? Are you influenced by that, or being an Air Force member like myself, a vet, has that influenced your politics? How does that play? Like, did you just come out of nowhere, or what is that?
It's a great question, man. Honestly, a lot of my motivation does come from family upbringing. Really, it's centered on my grandfather. My grandfather was a huge influence in terms of knowing what's going on in the world. Mm-hmm. He would always be either reading the paper or watching the news and just asking me certain questions. And he was an Army man as well, retired as a lieutenant colonel. So mm-hmm. when you talk about patriotism and knowing what's going on in the country and how it affects us, he definitely, bestowed that upon me. And just like you mentioned, 2005 is when I joined the Air Force. Been in the Air Force basically for 12 years. So when you, and then I deployed as well. So when you go on the front lines and fight for your country, it gives you another sense of, hey, we really are a special country, and we have to not only, worry about what we're doing, but worry about how what we're doing affects everybody. So then that's what really politics is. So those are the motivating factors as to why I do what I do.
Very good, very good. So let's get into it. What in the heck are these talks? So, I don't like to talk politics too much, and I like to keep it to myself. And so there are other political analysts, just like there's sports analysts out there. And when I listen to your broadcast, I think about what I do as a pastor. There are 50 million pastors out there. That's great. But I feel like one of my callings is to take some of the same passages already been preached and just, if I was a drug dealer, just break it up real fine, put the cookies on a low level so that everybody can get it. It's not that politics don't exist. It's not that political analysts don't exist. But when I look at your post, I look at someone trying to have a discussion and bring it down to a level to where people are really understanding what's going on. Most people don't even understand politics at all. We just vote based on the color or, based on certain things that we hope our champion isn't going for. But most of us don't know politics at all. So, what are these talks that you do, and why are they even important that you feel like you have to have a show surrounding these talks?
These talks that I do are geared towards the people who could care less about politics.
I thought that.
I strategically put the information together. Trust me, I didn't go to school for any of this. I didn't get a degree in journalism or anything. I'm just a guy that loves to learn and research and then communicate to the masses. So when I put these talks together, it's to talk to that person, that man, that woman, that brother, that sister, whoever, who is wrapped up in their life and doing what they got to do because they have responsibilities. But hey, they can know that they can come to the Derrick Live channel and get just the really elementary level understanding of what's going on in the world. So to answer your question, it's to educate, on an elementary level, man, so everybody can get it.
And I've never heard you say on your show that you're expert. So the assumption here isn't that you're an expert as a political analyst, but I do believe that you're jumping feet first, getting wet into being an expert in the field and doing the research and the studying. And again, I think you're doing a great job of making sure that, man, just the average dude on the street, average female on the street, or somebody that wasn't into politics, if they were to listen to your show, they can hear what's going on in the streets. And that's how we want to put it. But just hear it at a fun, energizing level. And I think that's good, man.
Absolutely. And other people have testimonies of not having all the education that they need, not having all the training that they need. But I really started Derrick Live to show that person who's out there, you don't have to use that as an excuse. Even though you may not have degrees in law and medicine and all these other wonderful degrees, which are great. If you have some drive, some motivation, some willingness to research some things, you can still be effective in that industry. So that's what I love about it. Because I'm showing everybody, hey, I may not be the expert, but I surely can put my opinion out there and sound educated doing it,
Before I bounce to another thought or question, I hope you all heard that point. Again, this is Derrick Live. He's coach, he's encourager, he's motivator, and he just through his words has taught some of you all that whoever the person is that's holding back, thinking they don't have the education or training, some of us are just born with these abilities that we don't even realize we have until we either placed in a position of pressure where they come out, or when we just make a decision and say, whether you want to call it faith or whatever it is, whether we make a decision just to jump out and do it. And what he's done is just jumped out and did it. He never claimed to be an expert or anything. He just jumped out and did it. So for those of you out there wondering what your calling is, your purpose, it's probably something that you're most passionate about, just jump in there and do it. You might realize people actually like what you do. And you might start making money for what you do. Then you can quit your day job so you ain't really working for real, getting money that you should get.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
I see exactly what you're saying.
Yeah. So I hope you all got that. Look, I'm locking up over here. It's all good. But good. I'm loving it. All right, Derrick. So where do you hope all of this takes you? The talks, the coaching, the encouraging. I've watched your shows. You're like, I'll do you can run down the list of the things you do. You're like, I'm a motivational speaker. I lecture for your kids. Well, at the end of the day, so first of all, run down the list of the things that you're willing to do, so people can see what your products are. So they can see what your products are, and then where do you hope all this takes you at the end of the day?
Outstanding question. I appreciate that. Really, Derrick Live is a broadcast to showcase not just a product, but really what's in me.
Woo!
Yeah, because I find that once you figure out what's in you, like the products, they'll come.
Yeah.
So really, and what's in me, like I don't know how to not value motivation. I don't know how to not value education. That's just what's in me. So
You got endless supply.
Endless
You
supply
might.
of passion for it. Yeah. So yeah, to answer your question, man, I want people when they see this to realize that yes, speaking is something that I love. So, at your next event, you'll feel comfortable in inviting me to be your guest speaker. That's what I'm a motivational speaker, a political lecturer, whatever. That's what I do. So that's one thing about it. Also, where I want to take it, I want to get to the point where really this can be done like more often, meaning like at least 5 times a week. Like seamlessly, and I'm talking about professionally, having a professional producer to produce the show.
And he's a producer,
So
y'all.
yeah. I got somebody in mind, but hey, I do need help because I'm not the technical person. I'm the guy who gets on there and comes with the content, but I need, IT folks and producers and stuff like that. So bottom line is, in 3 to 5 years or so, I want that to be my full-time thing.
You hear that?
Starting from scratch and trying to build it. Yeah.
From Facebook Live to full time.
Yeah.
I love it. So 3 to 5 years, this is what you're gonna be doing. Good. Well, brother, we appreciate your content. So let me ask you this, man. What are you most passionate about? Most.
I'm gonna be honest, man. I'm most passionate about getting someone to understand that even though they went through some trials in life, even though they have some deficiencies, so to speak, even though they have some weaknesses, even they have a lack of education, whatever it is, I'm most passionate in letting them know and showing through my life that they can start somewhere but end up in a whole nother place.
Yeah.
Life is filled with all these obstacles and challenges and things that just get us down every day, man. So if it's, showing you by example that, hey, I don't have all the knowledge, but I can go look at this Senate healthcare bill and break everything down and show people how the medical care, affects us all. If I can show people that, hey, you got to have night vision to succeed, doing examples of how owls adjust to night and all that stuff. Hey, man, that's what I'm most passionate about. I want to see, and you have the same interest,
Yeah, man.
I want to see people win, man. I don't care what area it is.
Yeah.
I want to see people win. That's what I'm most passionate about.
Yeah. And if I can just say this, because we know what each other likes to do, and it's all love, and we're like-minded in this. We want to see people win, but we want to see you winning with your tools that are already in you. The goal isn't for you to be like us or anybody else. We winning, even when it look like we losing, we winning because it's coming from the inside. But I think that his main goal and my main goal, and this isn't about me, but I think the idea is we want to see people win with what's inside of them. And if you realize, one, you have a winner in you, and you have winning tendencies in you, you have winning talent inside of you, all you need is the right individual to pull that out of you. And I think that's what we want to do, encourage and motivate. So yo, I hope we talking to a crowd full of winners, man.
We are. I know we are.
Good.
Yeah.
Yo, let me take it here. So you got 2 sons, man.
Yeah.
DJ and Devin. Cute little guys too, man.
Yes.
Cute little curly headed guys. One looks just like his wife, and one looks just like him. It's very funny.
Yeah.
I think they even act like both of them too. So it's real funny. But I love them. Hey, so you got 2 sons. You're African American, as we can see.
Yeah.
So having 2 sons, small sons, how old are they?
5 and 3.
5 and 3. You see what's been going on in the world. Having 2 sons, knowing they're growing up in a society like this, what disturbs you about what's going on in our society, having 2 sons? But also I want you to tell me what encourages you about what you see. Because there's something on both sides. There's something on both sides. Go.
Be honest with you, man. What really disturbs me, man, I mean, I'm definitely going to mention the issue with, bad cops. I'm definitely going to mention that. But even before that, what really concerns me is really the speed of information that's just able to be garnered, quickly like that, right? So, you're older than you. What you got me by? I think you got me by 7 years. But back in my day, back in your day, all of this information was not readily available, right? So now you got the internet and you have apps and all this other stuff. Everything, you got Facebook Live, you got all this stuff that you can just receive at the click of a button. So really what concerns me as it pertains to my boys is that I have to have a fine balance with them. I have to ensure that, yes, they're educated, but at the same time, I can't give them access to everything, because I know if these things that I have, been introduced to, kind of took me off my path, so to speak, I know that they can easily do that to them as well. So number one, man, that's one of the things I'm concerned with, is just all of the information being available. I mean, you get to the point where I've spoken to a couple of adults here, they have to take a detox from all of the information regarding Facebook and Instagram and just everybody, they have to do a detox. So that's one thing, the information. But what am I most encouraged about regarding my sons? I'll be honest, man. We are, and I got to throw race. I know people don't like me to throw race in here, but I'm going to throw race in here.
Dude, you black.
Yeah. Even though, we realize that racism still exists, we have to admit that most, I'm not saying all, most of the traditional like white supremacists, or not even white, but folks that just don't like people that aren't their color, most of those mindsets, I am encouraged to believe that they are dying out with them dying, actually. The folks that, who were here in the 1940s and 50s that really, in massive droves had who really believed that we couldn't drink from the same water fountains and things.
Right.
Most of them. Now, you still got people here that believe that, but most of them, I think that they are, that mindset is dying out with them. So I am encouraged that at least my boys have some fighting chance to get to a world where, hey, they are not judged on the color of their skin, but the content of their character. And I'll be honest, I am a proponent for good hip-hop. Come on, let me say good hip-hop. You got to admit, good hip-hop, when they go to their concerts, they're getting all races there, right?
Right.
And so the music is kind of bringing all the races together. So I say all that to say I'm encouraged by the fact that one day I believe my boys, maybe when I'm 90-something years old, my boys will live in a world where, the first thing that they're judged on is not their skin color.
And you know what, I think it helps, my brother. So this is Derrick Cash. He's a major in the United States Air Force. Derrick also has his master's degree. He's a licensed minister. I licensed him. He's a preacher, professional brother, but he's a cool brother. He's educated. He likes a little hip hop. He's down to earth. I really believe our young men and women, not just black, in general, need to see more. And we have a lot of them out there, but I think that we need to be more purposeful and intentional about our mentorship and making ourselves visible and making ourselves really be a hand up for these people, so that they realize, you might not ever be a rapper, you might not ever make it to the NBA or the NFL, but here goes some down to earth. When I say brothers and sisters, I'm not talking about color. There's some down to earth brothers and sisters that are professional, that are educated, that have walked this walk. They've been through some stuff. They need to see people like us to help them realize that there's hope. And for me, bro, and again, it's not about color, but going into color, I always felt like when Barack Obama became the president, not just once but twice, that was it for me. Like, when you want to talk about this man that keeps you down, the man is really the only man that's keeping you down is the one on the inside. There's no the man. Whoever he is, he must have died a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? Because I've never seen him. But whoever this man is that keeps us down, whatever, when you get an African American to reach the highest office in the land, there's no more excuses anymore. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm good with that. There's no more excuses. So, my prayer is that our young brothers and sisters. And again, when I say brothers and sisters, this is no color. This is brothers and sisters, white, black, Latino. We'll just continue to see good examples of people like yourself that have great character, that are educated, that are professional, and that are willing to reach back and motivate and encourage other people.
Absolutely. Absolutely, yeah. Hey, for those joining in, feel free to ask your questions. This is a Ask Me Anything. You know, we love to talk about, you know, the betterment of our world, honestly. But yeah, I appreciate you helping me, man.
Yeah, definitely. So look, you all, so we've been talking to Derrick live. We got to, and for those of you all that came on late, make sure you watch the replay and still comment with the replay, because we can hit you back with some of those answers, or he can hit you back. I'm just hosting the show for him. We've talked a little bit about who he is, how he came to be, you know, what are these talks that he does, why it's so important. We got a little bit about his background, what his passion is about. What's up, PJ? What's up, Chris? We saw you on. Gary, good to see you on. And we talked a little bit about him having two young men, you know, what he's most disturbed by and what he's encouraged about. And you all do know that he's an encourager, he's a motivator, he's that dude that you want to call on to have at your events, to speak, to encourage, to enlighten. And so what I want to do real quick is I want to give y'all an opportunity to chime into some questions about him. If you don't have any, I want Derrick to give us some closing remarks, whatever it is, however he wants to broadcast himself. But if y'all have any questions about Derrick, to Derrick, anything at all, feel free to go ahead and comment.
Can we go on for just a little bit more? Is that all right?
Yeah. You want to go on and you enjoy
Yeah,
this?
man. 'Cause let me tell you, man. I'm doing this business training, right?
Right.
I got a business coach, and what she said is when you go live, man, you need to try to hit at least 25 to 30 minutes, like minimum.
Yeah, where we at?
I don't know.
You know how many minutes?
It feels like it's been like 15.
It feels like 17.
10 to 15.
Yeah. No,
You know what I'm saying?
no, that's good. We're going to go ahead on a little bit longer.
What's up, Jessica? How you doing? Appreciate your support.
Yeah, I don't even think it's been like 30 minutes. Okay. No, that's good. No. All right, well, let's get it in. Let's get it in a little bit more. No, you good?
I'm good.
Get a little bit more. So you got, this is show 25, you got show 26 coming up next. I imagine you're already working on content.
Man, I'm gonna be honest, man. That's a great question. So, okay, for all the people out there who want to know, like, when does Derrick Live air? Okay, so my goal, and you know, I'm a husband, father. I told y'all all that. But hey, I believe I'm talking to some people who, even though they have all these responsibilities and a 9 to 5, they still want to try to still stretch and do, you know, some other things. So y'all got to motivate me when I feel like, you know, I can't do it. Y'all got to motivate me and say that I can do it, okay? But I say all that to say.
This will motivate you.
That's either the energy drinks or the coffee. I get it, yeah. So, hey, but what I'm saying is, Derrick Live, the goal is every Tuesday, every Thursday, and every Sunday. So that's 3 times a week. We got the website coming out next month, and on there you will see it says Derrick Live 3. It's a tri-weekly broadcast, 3 times a week. So yeah. So what we're gonna do every Tuesday? We're probably gonna do something.
Thanks for the thumbs up.
Yeah, we appreciate all the love. Everybody out there, show me the hearts and the thumbs up. We appreciate that. Yes, sir. Oh, and share this video. Share the video with somebody and tag the video too.
You gotta share the video because I ain't sharing this coffee. Share the video.
So yeah. As far as the content is concerned, you best to believe it's either gonna be something like political or something motivational. And have you witnessed some of the interviews that I've done? I know you have because I interviewed you.
Yeah, I think that's the only one I witnessed.
Yeah, so I got a couple more out there, right? So I interviewed this guy named Brendan Agronoff. He's a CEO of Hoop Swag. It's like a company out in Oregon that sells socks and apparel, and they sold like average $1 million a year, right? So yeah, the guy is on point. He's doing his thing. Shout out to Brendan Agronoff if you ever see this broadcast.
Ask your question, buddy.
Yes, sir. So yeah, I did an interview with him. I did an interview with a personal trainer as well by the name of LaDonna Foster. She's back in Atlanta. We went to school together. It's a wonderful interview. Chris, that's your question, laughing out loud. Can I ask a question? Yes, you can ask a question. Chris Pun, one of the baddest keyboard players and bass players in the country. Yeah.
That's how it be.
Yeah. So yeah, man.
PJ too.
That's the content, man. Every Tuesday, every Thursday, every Sunday, you're going to get some education and motivation.
So while we waiting for your question, Chris, let me ask you this. Now, there was a time when light-skinned brothers were in. And I think it's past.
Oh, man.
So, I mean, you sitting beside a chocolate brother.
Yeah.
And so, how does it feel to know that your time has come and gone, but you still trying to pump it like you're in? Like it's...
Hey, man. Hey, man.
'Cause I
Steph Curry just won a championship, baby. Light skin, we here, baby. Yeah. Klay Thompson, what's up?
Hey, Mr. Derrick, why is it so hard for felons to get a job?
Man, you're going to have to ask these CEOs and these business owners out here that are reluctant to take a chance, man.
That's where it is.
Yeah. It's, you know, it's all about the positions of power, right? I'm glad you asked that because I want to go on to that subject of positions of power, which I feel as though we need to start creating more for ourselves so that we can employ those people who, even though they may have messed up and they may have gone to prison, you know, they have reevaluated their lives and, you know, bettering themselves. Yeah, we got to be the CEOs.
We got to be the CEOs and the bosses. We got to be those people, and we can't be scared to get in those positions. Can I say this?
Go ahead,
man. Black folks sometimes, man, y'all be killing me sometimes. I'm just gonna say it like this. You know, sometimes we want the position, but man, we don't always want to do the work. Or when we get to the position, we don't want to do the work. Man, we don't need people hiding. We don't need laziness. If we're going to see, you know, stuff change, and like you said, some of these laws and stipulations surrounding felons and other things, or in politics, you know, at the lowest level in our neighborhoods, we need people that's willing to step up and get in these positions. Be professional people of integrity that can get in these positions and be the lawmakers and do this stuff. So, yeah, that's really where it starts.
Absolutely.
If I'm a CEO of a major company and I'm willing to give a felon a chance, you got a job.
Man, I show. We'll get to this other one too. But let me see. What did Peter O'Neill say?
Yeah, and I ain't even got the readers, and I can check that with the left eye joint. You know, I'm like 2010 over on this side, bro. This 2060. He said companies and corporations, my bionic joint, use it as an excuse to exclude people who are otherwise qualified. Yeah.
Absolutely, man. You know, I was looking at these two examples, right? So you got those companies like you mentioned that, like when felons apply for jobs, it's like, nope, I'm not taking you. But then I was looking at Welcome to Sweetie Pies, the reality show in which the the former Tina Turner backup singer started a restaurant in St. Louis, and you know what? They were bringing felons on, you know, mainly because the guy who's running the show, running the shot, her son is a felon himself.
Right.
So look at what we just mentioned. We mentioned that it's up to us to be in those positions of power to bring other people on that deserve the opportunity. So, man, I give all praise to, I forgot his name, but he is Robbie's son who runs that restaurant on, it's on the OWN network, Welcome to Sweetie Pies. Well, he's like, I don't care what your background is. You can come in here and do some work. Because I've been in your shoes, and I know, you know, you can turn your life around because I'm a testament of it.
You just said something. You said, you know, you talked about an individual doing this because they're looking back saying, I've been in your shoes. I want to address that because I think one of the problems, and I'm going back to our people, just what I've seen in our culture. We soon forget where we came from, and we had this little game that we like to play where once we get in these positions, you know, we feel like we can't reach our hand back sometimes. We feel like we can't help, or it just looks like, you know, I came up the hard way. You gotta, brother, sister, why'd you get in that position in the first place? You there so that you can create change, so that you can make change. And to be in a powerful position and not make good change and create change and give people a chance knowing that that was you or it could have been you, that's a sad, sad person, man. So you said that individual actually, you know, realized that, man, that's I work with I don't know what that was.
What's up, Neil France?
What's up, Neil? Papa Neil,
former
good to see you.
Word of Life Christian Center.
Former United States Air Force brother.
Yeah.
I worked with a person who did 10 years for distribution. He was full of wisdom and was a hard-working individual. You never know he was a felon from talking to him. He was married with... I guess he was married with children.
He was married with... we can't see the rest of your comment. But yeah, it's a testimony.
He was married with ... I used to have ... too, back in the day.
Yeah. You crazy, man.
God gave me another chance.
So what you saying? He said he did 10 years for distribution, but he was full of wisdom and was hard working. See,
Bruh, if you was in distribution, yeah, you had wisdom. You know logistics. You know supply chain. You know strategy.
You know who to sell to and who not to sell to.
You know who your customers are.
Yeah.
Bruh, you just take all them skills and you put it to work. Yeah, he had 2 kids. That's what the ... was. The 2 kids.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, if you just tuning in, you here with Derrick Live, and you here with Pastor and Life Coach Ian Edwards. We over here chopping it up. Yeah, we were talking about, stuff that's on my broadcast, but now we had these wonderful comments, and then we shifting the conversation, which is great. So appreciate you all's comments. Yeah.
You know what's funny, bro? I'm analyzing my life. So you're 34, I'm 41. I've been pastoring the church I started.
Hold on. You 41?
Yeah.
You're looking good for 41, isn't it? Yeah.
Every bit of 41.
You gotta give credit when credit's due.
A full head of hair at 41.
Yeah.
God's good. Hey, so, I started the church 8 years ago, started another church a year ago. I'm already looking at by the time I'm 50, man. I won't be pastoring any churches. I'll oversee. But the same way you do this, I'm really hoping that my job is to care for pastors and help them be strong and help their conversations be strong. Like, I see myself being a provider / just a caretaker just for pastors in their churches, and really that be my job, to encourage and to motivate and do that. I go into a church for a month or a couple weeks. I do your board meetings for you. I preach if I need to. I love on you, make sure you're good. That's where I'll get my check, and then I fly back home and parlay on the beach and live and do what I need to do. But I'm really hoping that's like my full-time job, man.
Yeah. And you know what? As long as you got the vision, man, you can, and plus some hard work, man, you can get it done. You know that.
I plan to get it done. So I said 9 years. By the time I'm 50, y'all pastors that need some help, look, I'll be flying out to wherever you are just to love on you, make sure you're good, and I get my check and I roll back.
Yeah. No excuses, y'all. No excuses. If you still alive, you're able to dream. That's the only prerequisite for a dream. You having breath in your body. So if you got the breath in your body, go ahead and get that dream out. Start putting some strategy and some hard work, and you can get it done. Yeah.
So Derrick Live, you're looking for a producer, you're looking for tech people to get your show going. You gave a vision for like 3 to 5 years where you see yourself. How soon do you see yourself to where you're up to about, well, I imagine if you're 5 days a week, you might not be doing your day job.
That's the goal, yeah.
Okay. Now, I see PJ's on. PJ's been on. I see he laughing out loud at us. PJ and his brother, they got something going on with the studio and some stuff where they're at. And I'm bringing them up because we haven't partnered with them. But I don't know how much business they're getting and what they're trying to do. But on a producer scale, they may be looking to add clients to their, they got the, you see how, how you hook that up?
Where you're going,
yeah,
brother.
they got it going on. And as a matter of fact, PJ used to do radio stuff. He's done some stuff with the church. He knows how to mix it down and do it. I'm saying he has what you need where he is. We need to take a trip up to see him and find out if they're looking for clients. And I think that you would be a good one. You would help him out and he would help you out. I've got a multi-suite studio on Woodlawn. Yeah, I know you do. You hear that? Multi-suite. Yeah. You see? So we need to hook that up so y'all can help one another out, man. PJ, let's make sure we talk, sometime after this and hook this up. But I think it'll be great, man.
Shout out. He goes by PJ?
Yeah.
Okay. Because Peter, when I hit you on Messenger, I just roll with Pete. But if you go by PJ, shout out to PJ. If y'all have not checked out what this brother is doing, you need to check out what's going on his Facebook page. Man, I'm telling you, he puts the audio visual things that I'm doing to shame. And I talked to him and I was like, man, how are you doing what you're doing? He was like, honestly, brother, I've had some training in this. So,
You've been doing it for a while.
Yeah, I've been doing it for a while. So just be cool, young grasshopper. Yeah. One day you'll get to that level. So yeah, shout out to PJ, man. But yes, PJ, man, if we can team up, I am willing to do that.
He been having it since he was a baby. Like the training was in his bottle. Yeah. Like he drank it. It was in his milk.
Have you seen like his episodes?
Bro, it's crazy. Yeah, I do.
It's
he
crazy.
Planes flying and all types of craziness. And
yeah.
I'm PJ.
He's got it's basically like a regular TV show. You know, he's got he's going live, but he got the pre-recorded stuff going in there too. So it's awesome, man. Keep doing what you're doing, PJ, for real.
Yeah. We love it. We love it, bro.
Yes, sir.
Well, y'all, we are looking forward to and PJ, there's some stuff I got to do. I know I hit you. I'm so busy. I can never hit you back and solidify, but you know I need stuff. You already know I do. Anybody that sees me do anything I do, know I need some help, man. I just got to nail down the time. So I think both of us is going to take a trip out there together, carpool, save some gas or whatever it is. But man, we've been talking to Derrick, learning a lot about him. Again, for those of you that just joined in on the show, make sure you replay this, make sure you share this, and make sure y'all listen to his content. He's on Tuesday night, Thursday night, and he's on Sunday night, all 8 o'clock.
Yeah. So, you know, we're still trying to refine all this and fine-tune everything. But the goal is 8 o'clock p.m. on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And usually on Sundays, it's the morning. It's like at 10 a.m. That's when we're at church, and I just broadcast all the wonderful songs and things.
Oh, yeah. So on Sunday, it's him at church, and he's leading praise and worship. So he wants y'all to get another side of him. So, yeah, he does it right there at church. He just told me that. So, like, slap on the hand, you know, in Jesus' name. So we'll make sure we reprimand him. He won't be licensed after the show. It's done. It's a wrap. But yeah, make sure y'all check him out and share his videos. And again, if you're looking for somebody to encourage and motivate, and, you know, us, we're, you know, that's wagging the sky, but we're kind of like cool adults. Like, and I think that our brothers and sisters, they need some help. And I think having a brother like this on your team to minister to your kids, speak, encourage to that youth, I think they need to see that and know that you can be a professional and still be cool. So especially if you're looking, if you got some stuff at your school, you know, he's willing to do whatever, career stuff, just anything that you all need, call this brother. Make sure that you watch his episodes to get to know him a little more. And watch this so you can get to know him in his humor and just how he does what he does. He's a true professional. He's a true businessman, and he's here to see you win. So if you want to win, roll with Coach D. Derrick live in his house.
Appreciate you, Pastor Ian Edwards. I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Hey, so we're going to wrap this up just a little bit. For those who are just tuning in, who's going to watch the replay, hey, I am Derrick Cash. The broadcast that I have is Derrick Live, and it's about education and motivation. You know, and I want to talk to you business owners out there and entrepreneurs out there. What I keep learning is you have to be your own promoter, and you know what? You can't assume that people know exactly what you're doing and why you're doing what you're doing.
Right.
You have to constantly remind folks, hey, this is why I'm doing this. This is what I'm doing. This is what, you know, I'm going after. So hopefully this communicate to you exactly, you know, what I'm about. And hey, I'm here to partner with you all to make sure that we live our best lives. So appreciate all your support. Pastor Ian, can we just end it like this? Can we? Let's end on a little light note. I ask you 2 questions, you ask me 2 questions, and we wrap it up. Okay? Is that okay?
Mm-hmm.
Is that okay?
You want me to go first? Or
You go first, man. You go first.
It's like Jeopardy up in this piece.
Yeah. You know, that's what we do.
Just any 2 questions?
Yeah. It doesn't matter. Whatever comes to mind.
Okay. If God were to take you home tonight, what would you hope you've left with the world?
Man, if he takes me tonight?
Tonight was your last night.
Yeah.
Through your life, what do you hope you would have left to the world, to your family? What would you, so basically, how could you sum up what you've accomplished up until this day and its benefit to the rest of the world?
Man.
Yeah, we've made mistakes, been, you know, not perfect and all that type of stuff, but what do you hope in your heart? What do you hope that you've left that they'll remember?
I hope that my family first, and then my friends and people who have encountered me would understand that he was a fighter. That's all. If they can understand that, I believe I've done my job. We didn't go into a lot of things regarding my life, but man, yeah, you talking to a guy who's had some real craziness going on, like in terms of like failures and setbacks and embarrassing moments, and You know, and so just if they can notice that, you know, he continued to get up, he continued to fight, he continued to believe in the Lord, and the Lord would really edify him and move him to the path he needed to go. And I think I've done my job, man. I'll give you an example, man. Can I give a personal example?
Dude, it's your show.
So, yeah, I'm in the Air Force now, but I got it by a second chance. A lot of people don't know this, man. When I graduated, shout out to Dunwoody High School in Dunwoody, Georgia. When I graduated Dunwoody High School in 2001, like a week before I graduated, I had an appointment to the United States Air Force Academy Prep School, right? So you're talking about a guy coming from, you know, Decatur, Georgia, free ride through school, right? Mm-hmm. Had that up until like the second week before I was to graduate. Mm-hmm. But I got in some trouble on the last week of high school, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Me and the boys were found doing some things we weren't supposed to be doing.
Mm-hmm. Tell us.
Oh, no, man, I'm not going to go into everything, but just know just know that we were doing some things with a loose female. Yeah, did I go there? I just went there. Yeah, we were doing some things with a loose female on campus. And so somebody reported that to the United States Air Force Academy Prep School, and my scholarship was strict.
Wow, you hear that?
Strict.
Yeah.
Right, so this is the week, like I said, right before graduation. Mm-hmm. So my mom had already called people from out of town. They bought plane tickets, everything. They coming to Georgia to see their family member graduate. Everything was taken away. What am I, 17 during that time? Mm-hmm. You talking about somebody who almost lost his mind? Because usually I was in the business of making my family proud, right? Mm-hmm. And this was just devastating to me, man. Mm-hmm. And so here's the silver lining. Even though I wasn't able to go to, you know, get that free ride at the United States Air Force Academy Prep School, I also got accepted to Morehouse College in Atlanta, right? So I went there, and that's where I met my wife. I met my wife. Well, I met my wife in junior high school, long story, junior high school, but we started dating in college, right? So if I wouldn't have, you see how destiny is, you see how God kind of works, even though we mess up some things for ourselves, he'll still be there to put things back together.
Oh, Shama.
If I wouldn't have met that devastating time, you know, I wouldn't have met my wife.
Right.
You know, so that's the silver lining I always think about. So I say all that to say, I want people to know that if I die tonight, I would hope that they would remember me as a fighter, that he didn't give up, even though he constantly sometimes got in trouble. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's it.
Yeah. Okay. That's question number one. One more? You want another one? Or
yes.
You think that's
one more, and then I'm going to go with my questions for you.
Your questions?
Yeah.
Question number 2. To date, and these just coming off the top of my head, what would you say is your biggest accomplishment?
My biggest accomplishment? Man, it's gotta be marrying my wife, man. It's gotta be. Because
heard it here.
Yeah. It's gotta be, man. Because, and you know, maybe when I have another hour, I'll tell you all, and we sit down and maybe drink some coffee or whatever. I'll tell you the whole story. But the bottom line is, and I hope Carmen is going to be listening to this, you know, after this goes off. You know, the bottom line is my experience with girls before I met her, they were girls. You know, they weren't women. They were really out to get things from me and not pour into me. You know, they were trying to see what's beneficial for them. Why am I, you know, why we're in a relationship, how can it benefit them? Man, when I met Carmen back when I started dating her in 2001, it was she showed me something I had never seen before, man. She was gracious. She was somebody that poured into me, someone that was really genuinely, you know, trying to make sure that I was good. Man, she was helping me with money sometimes, man. I had never experienced that before. So, man, she's a great woman. And if I could say my best accomplishment was definitely marrying her, because then I got a wonderful wife. I got the best mom in the world in terms of like a mother for my children. Man, DJ and Devin, they 5 and 3, but they still can attest that she is the best mother in the world, man. So that's all I need. Outside of the Derrick Live and being in the Air Force and, you know, buying a nice home and all that, man, that's material stuff.
Yeah.
When it comes down to it, man, that's the best thing I could have ever done in my life.
I love your wife too, man.
Yeah.
That's my girl.
Yeah.
Good. All right, shoot,
All
man.
right.
You got 2 questions. Don't make it too tough.
2 questions. Okay.
Remember, I'm older, so my mind ain't as sharp.
Yeah, your mind. Man. And this we off the top of the dome.
Yeah.
If you had to pick one characteristic about yourself that has been that anchor, meaning you've been through a lot, and you can go into your story if you want to, but been through a lot, you know, had some upsets, had some letdowns, had some disappointments. You know, you're 41 years old. If you could pick one characteristic that you know has been inside you that has been able to keep you going through those challenges, man, what would you pick?
Man, that's funny you say that. I was actually just thinking about this today, and it's because the most common question I get about me, and I'm talking about a lot, is how in the world do you do all the stuff you do? That's the most common question I get, and I think the characteristic that defines that is I'm a driven dude, and I am self-driven. I am always in competition with myself. I'm never in competition with anyone. I'm always in competition with myself, and sometimes I think part of that is being the youngest, or the youngest is always trying to be a fighter. You know, see me, I've done something too. You see what I'm saying? Like, look at me, I got some accomplishments too. But I think also, and this is just on a personal tip, one of the last coherent things I heard my dad say, and I probably told you this before, I heard my dad say before many years later he got Alzheimer's and stuff, and he couldn't even remember who his 2 sons were, was something to the effect of, I told him I was going in the military because he wasn't trying to pay for us to go to school, and you climbing the ladder to failure and you're not going to be successful and all of that. And for whatever reason, man, that stuck to me, because this is a dad. You know, you want your dad to say encouraging words and give you some confidence about who you're going to be, and this is what he tells you. So for me, I actually have found myself over the years being so self-driven and motivated. One, for me, because that's just who I am, but it's almost like I'm waiting for this dead dude to say to me, "You the man," or "You have done well." Now, I know we can be extra spiritual and say, "Oh, your Father in heaven is telling you, you know, God is telling you a well done, and I know your dad is looking down from heaven." I don't want to hear all that. At the end of the day, it would have been nice for my dad to give me something encouraging. But every accomplishment I make, you've seen me in action. There's no half-stepping in what I do. I'm totally driven. I'm a put it together. That drive is what gets me. You don't have to ask me. My wife doesn't have to ask me this, or kids that. I'm driven. It's like I gotta be the best at everything that I do. So even if I'm not the best, the work that I put behind it is for me to be the best.
Yo, so I feel God telling me to do this, so I'm gonna do this. All right.
Do it.
So the last question I'm gonna ask you, but then I'm gonna answer it too for myself, and I'm gonna be I'm gonna be straight up real, right? All right. So we have heard your strength, that drive. What have you found to be the constant weakness throughout your life, and how have you tried to deal with it so that you can overcome it and be the best person you're supposed to be?
My biggest weakness?
Yeah.
My biggest weakness probably is let's see, best way I want to word this. I don't think I've always been good at what my limits are as it relates to how I allow, should I say how I allow people to pull from me?
You think like people have found it easy to take advantage of you? What do you think?
Maybe they thought they were, but I think that I'm a pretty generous dude. I'm a compassionate dude. So in one sense, generous dude, compassionate dude. So that's probably on a tangible side, practical side, like stuff. But then, you know, compassionate dude or whatever, even from a female perspective, even maybe perhaps sometimes they thinking who I am and just how, you know, the aura that I get off is more than what it really is. And I don't think that I'm always I don't want to say, because it's not like I'm unconscious. I think because I'm a helper, I'm always trying to help. I don't think I'm always like on point and just honest about like what's really going on. You know, that's me just being real. I don't think I'm always trying to figure out, and it's like, well, I'm just trying to help. But I've learned that, and I've just learned through, you know, experience, and that I need to, for as much as I can give and want to give and be the best, there has to be boundaries in this, me like wanting to be my best. Can't be all things for everyone. You know, I certainly can't be somebody else's dad if you got one. I can't be your husband if you got one. I can't, you know what I'm saying? I can't be your resource pool, you know, if you need one. I realize that with me, and in my heart of hearts, all I've ever wanted to do was help. So I think for me, what has helped me, because I think that's been like an underlying thing with me. I think what's helped me is to learn to put like barriers in place for the sake of family, for the sake of mental and like emotional stability, like for real. That's what helped me. So that's honest. That's the real. I think that's what it is, man.
I got you. Hey, we about to close this up, but before we do that, I'm about to get like real serious. I know this is supposed to be like a motivational time, but I'm really, because I obey the Lord, and whatever the Lord say do, that's what I do. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna say something that's really supposed to be said in a men's meeting, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it right now. We got women on the line, but is it okay if I say it?
It's your show.
Yeah. So men, women, just close your ear, you know, put your finger in your ear. Right
sign
now.
off, Tyra.
Yeah, just sign off. You know, because we talk about like, wanting to be successful all the time and wanting to achieve the goals that we're trying to achieve. But I mean, what I found is, man, especially like with a lot of men, like, because we got a lot of responsibilities, right? Everybody always looking at us, man. Look, if your family not doing well, it's because of you. You know, so we got all these things that we're trying to do. But when we do have weaknesses, a lot of times we don't want to admit it, and we don't want to like own up to them, and really express, you know, how we feel about it. So this is what I'm gonna say. Yeah, Derrick Live is something that I'm really doing about motivation and political stuff. But here's the transparent thing with me, man. One of my weaknesses has always been being attracted to women. I'm just leave it like that. Being attracted to women.
Well, you are a male.
Yeah, I like how you chimed in like that, because this is how we facilitate everything. But when you're attracted to women sometimes, and it's not drugs that get you, and it's not alcohol that gets you, but it's women that gets you, that can be like devastating. Like if you trying to live up to like a, what they call it, you trying to live in a monogamous type relationship, right?
Right.
So yeah.
So it must be the degree of the obviously being attracted to women in and of itself is not an issue, because just from the standpoint, she's attractive. Like, I mean, for God's sake, you know, when you get married or get in a relationship, you choose a person that you think is the best for you. There's always somebody prettier. There's always some of this. So I think normal attraction, but I guess.
But when it starts to consume your thoughts.
Yeah.
That's when the danger arises. And I'm telling y'all, if y'all dealing with Derrick Cash, you're gonna get the real me. So yeah. So one thing, an obstacle that has been in my life is that oftentimes I have allowed that to consume my mind, right? And so it has put me in certain situations where it's not beneficial to my life. And so here's the kicker, here's the answer. A lot of y'all men, y'all got this, can I say this? Most men got the same weakness that I got. I'm just be honest with you. So a lot of y'all men, when you realize you got that issue, a lot of times you just try to suppress it and you don't want to admit it. So what I'm telling you is, I have found it to be successful by admitting that to my wife. And so I've admitted that to my wife on a couple of occasions. I'm not saying everything has been roses, because it has not been. But I can truly say that if I can help a brother out there, man, for real, I take it from me, man. You got this issue, I got the issue too. Man, tell your significant other. Because I'm telling you, what I found is if you tell them, they want to hear it earlier than later. That's what they want. And that came out of my wife's mouth. And so, yeah, I'm just saying, man, I'm just being real with everybody, man. That's been one of my weaknesses. You know what I'm saying? But here's the other thing. I realized that I can't get through this thing without God's help. Right? Right. I can't. I'm not denying it. You know, we overcome by the blood and of the Lamb and the word of our testimony. You know, sometimes, you know, that word of the testimony is really the hindrance, because we don't really want to say it. So this is my example. I'm saying that thing right now. And I believe that, you know, the Lord is going to continue to strengthen myself. And you mentioned limits. That's a key too. Because when men, and y'all women, just don't listen to this. Men, when you get in that position where you realize that that's one of your weaknesses, man, you got to put those parameters in check. You got to put those limits in check. So just an example for me, you ain't going to catch me being alone with a woman. Not for no extended period of time. And it's not because I think I'm going to lose my mind. It's just in terms of, like, I know my limits. You know what I'm saying? I know what my vice is. It's not drugs. It's not alcohol. So I know what my vice is. So I'm going to make sure that I don't do anything that's, like, jeopardizing my relationship with my wife. So yeah, I ain't want to get too deep, but I got to be honest, man. That's me. That's me.
You know, I was thinking as you were talking. So, say drugs not your vice, alcohol is not your vice. It's not your vice. But even if it is, we talked about, you know, pressure that you know, men face, stuff that we go through, or how we're dealing with it, that type of thing. For someone who's this is just my thinking, someone who's public figure, somebody who knows that there are times in a moment's notice they need to be out in the public eye, they need to deal with something, handle a situation. My thought is that you really don't want to be hooked on the alcohol, on the drugs, because when you get out publicly, then it's seen. So sometimes it's easier, even though when it comes out it can mess up, you know, family and other things. It's almost easier to be like, well, at least if I'm just with someone, you know what I'm saying? We being real, right? You've never, no man, you know, gonna be with some woman and then he get done. And you know, he gonna come out and he's not gonna be able to do what he needs to do. In fact, he probably gonna come out and be sharper.
Do a whole lot better.
Whoa, I'm ready to write this State of the Union address. Well, you see what I'm saying? So sometimes I almost feel like, you know, because we see what goes on in preacher circles, what goes on TV. That's almost like one of the number one things. And I think because that's one of those things where, and when I say get away with, not like you literally get away with it, but from the standpoint that I can come out of it and still be productive instead of being inebriated or, you know, just high off or whatever it is. It's just like an easy thing to go to. Get out and I'll be better. So even if it's not your thing, but I think for most guys, and again, the issue is not if you're attracted to someone, but when that thing becomes your idol, so to speak, you know, it's consuming you. You know, it gets more of your time than God. You're thinking about it, strategizing about it. It's in your mind. It's just infesting itself in you, metastasizing, whatever word you want to use. I think that's where it becomes problematic. And you said the number one thing. I don't care what self-help books you read. I don't care. The only person, not thing, the only person that can help us with this is the Holy Spirit. He is the only one. You tell your wife, which is great, and you're going to get some counsel from her, and you're going to sit in the men's meeting and get some counsel from the brothers. But at the end of the day, you got the same Holy Spirit I got. And if you don't spend time with him, I don't spend time with him, and we don't get filled, it's Groundhog's Day all over again. You backing it all over. I'm serious, you backing it all over again. So it really takes spending time with the Lord, and we're not going to get any more of the Lord. So it's really up to us. We got all the God we're going to get, but it's really up to us to discipline ourselves, to spend time with him so that we don't find ourselves in those situations.
So y'all, thank y'all. Thank you all for joining the show today.
Exactly.
I know you were just thinking you were gonna get a briefing as to what I do regarding the Derrick Live broadcast, and you can go to YouTube and check out Derrick Live. Search Derrick Live, you see my face, and then subscribe to my channel. But I also had to bring a little transparency into the place too. Because it's time out for y'all just being fed, products and services and not knowing exactly things about the person that's giving the products and services. That's who I am. I'm a guy who's trying to strive for the greater good, trying to do my best, but I got obstacles on the way. And with me admitting the stuff and getting help and, getting support from my brothers and my sisters, man, I'm going to make it, and all y'all are going to make it too. All right? Any last thing?
I just want to say in closing, it was an honor to do your show and ask you some questions. And me and this guy, we served in the military together. We've been serving at the same church together since our last church. And the reason why we can talk this deep and have this type of fellowship, we flow in some of the same areas, positively and negatively. Yeah. We flow in some of the same ways. But this is a brother that there was a time in our life where I think it was like 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
4:30 in the morning. Every morning we was waking up praying before work, and I'm telling y'all that so y'all realize how serious we've always been about encouraging one another and making sure we're on the right path. I ain't saying you got to get up before 4:30. What I'm telling you is we were willing to do what we felt we needed to do to make sure that we was on the right path. So when you see us here talking and joking and going through stuff, this big brother, little brother, we got history talking, trying to encourage one another. And find you a partner. And you know what I'm saying? He sent the disciples out 2 by 2. They would have been a mess. It would have just been one. So, find you a partner, get out there. And it was an honor to host the show. And please make sure y'all check out his episodes on Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. 8 o'clock on Tuesday and Thursday, I think. And Sunday at 10 a.m. he's going to be doing praise and worship. And make sure y'all continue to leave more comments, share the broadcast, and then make sure y'all send shout-outs. It's a beautiful thing to be able to, on your wall, just put a shout-out. For anybody that watched this, just put on your wall some type of shout-out so that your friends and family members will know Derrick Live has been on the air. He has a great show. He's doing some great stuff. All
right, y'all. Y'all be blessed. Stay informed. And just realize that you are winners and you can do it, all right?
Mm-hmm.
Take care. Peace out.